Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to day two of a full week of Uncensored Live. I brought you outside today. I was hoping for some sunshine, but we have been having some really bad rainstorms, so it's a little better scenery, but I got no sunshine for you, so I apologize for that. So let's hop right into today, the silent killer. So if you're hopping on live, please say hello. Let me know you're here. If you're watching the replay, let me know you catch the replay. Silent killer of your business. And I'm going to say honestly, a silent killer of your joy, of your happiness. That's what we're going to talk about today. So for me personally, I've always been outgoing. I have always been the person that speaks up. That's the life of the party. That, I was the girl. Not your girly girl. I was the girl that didn't have a lot of female friends because they didn't appreciate, I tell it like it is, personality. They didn't appreciate, me telling them, hey, listen, sweetie, you don't look good in that outfit. They did not appreciate that. And a lot of females, and I think especially when I was younger, I just think that we weren't in that place. We weren't taught what type of relationship to have with other women. We weren't taught that it's okay to be honest and vocal, and it's okay for all those things. But I truly own that. I really did. I owned it as I got older, and I just owned how I was. This is the problem. The day I decided to launch my coaching business online, I struggled showing up fully. I completely struggled being able to show who I was. I constantly bullied myself into believing that unless I watered myself down and unless I, brought myself to a nicer place, telling people what they wanted to hear, that no one was ever going to want to work with me. No one was ever going to want to listen to me. No one was ever going to think I was an expert unless I acted this way. Because why? Well, women didn't appreciate that about me before. So why would they appreciate that now? Right? So here I am, feeling like I have to do things a certain way, feeling like now a fraud, because here I am coaching women to be confident in who they are, to own their story, and to really be authentic and be true to themselves. And here I am struggling with that myself, struggling to be real, struggling to be so worried, to be so concerned that I had to water myself down for people to like me. And I see a lot of that going on. And what I see going on next is what so many people are doing. It's what I did. I started consuming and following successful coaches. Everyone that I could get my hands on. I would consume everything they did, their personality, what they posted, how they were, every single thing, which seems reasonable, right? You're like, let me follow a mentor. Let me follow somebody who's successful. Let me see what they're doing that I'm not doing, or who I'm not, that I can be. Except for what started happening, and I don't know if this resonates with any one of you. If it does, let me know. What started happening is I started to really start hiding my real personality. I started showing up like someone else. And my own husband even said, maybe you're too aggressive and maybe you need to tone it down a little. So I did. I toned it down. I toned it down so far that I realized I don't know who the hell I am anymore. I'm some watered down version of mashed people I'm seeing online. And it cost me months of doubt, months of having no clarity, months of doubting who I am, what I was doing, bashing my own confidence. It cost me so much time. And it's like, I wasn't good enough to impact women as I was. I was too much, and I was not going to be enough for them. I was not going to be able to get people to come in with me. And it cost me a lot. It cost me the fact that not only for myself, not only losing myself, but I'm sure that all the months of it costing me the confidence and the transformations, I wasn't able to give that to other women either. So it cost them their transformations. And I literally was like, I can do this on my own. I can do it on my own. There isn't any, there is nothing that I can't do on my own. I moved away from home when I was 12 years old. I did not live at home anymore. I bounced around from the time I was 12. I became so self-reliant that I realized I could do everything myself. I knew I was the only person that was going to make things happen for me. So if I wanted it, I had to go out and get it. And that led to, the giving away of the confidence. So this leads back into, how this rolled into my business, how giving away my confidence and watering down who I was, how it changed everything that I did, how it turned into a disvalidation of who I am and how I showed up, right? So I didn't realize how much that turned into. I didn't realize that the day I gave away my self-worth was the day I started needing validation from everything, for my choices, for my ideas, for what I was doing, the things that made me happy, the coaching that I was bringing about, who I was presenting myself as. I needed validation, and I started looking to those coaches that I was following for that validation. I started getting into some tribes of women that we connected together, and everything that I had an idea for, it needed to be validated by someone else. I couldn't do it without a validation. I didn't trust myself without someone else making that decision or what I was doing important. It had to be important. That continued the spin cycle of the self-bullying that I did on myself. I mean, the literal confidence reduction, the self-worth, the disbelief, the believing I was never good enough. It was never going to be something. And what I found was, and if you find yourself doing this, if you find yourself feeling like, I need to be in a position of power, and power meaning maybe it's just a leader of your network marketing company, maybe it's a leader in your corporate job, maybe it's whatever that power position is, I finally realized that I didn't want that power position because it just meant success. I wanted it because it meant validation, and I needed that validation. That's what I was doing. So for years, I was trying to bulldoze my way through the online space and through business and through working with women and trying to figure myself out. I was just trying to bulldoze through it, thinking that's what was going to work. And I wasn't willing to admit that I needed someone to walk with me, that I needed someone to help me end the mindfuckery that I had going on. I didn't want to admit that I had mindfuckery because I'm like, no, I've been doing this for so long. I've been doing this since I was a kid. I've been taking care of myself since I was 12. I got this. And it is so much harder to admit that I wasn't weak, that my foundation was weak, and I just needed to focus on that. I just needed to focus on the fact that my foundation was broken, it was cracked, and it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to ask for another woman for help, and it's okay to be 100% you, a non-watered down version of who you are, 100% true and authentic. And if someone doesn't want to work with you or someone doesn't want to follow you because of that, that means that you are not meant for them, and it is okay. It is more than okay, because there are enough people out there that will want to work with you, will need what you have. And the minute you start watering yourself down, the minute you start taking on qualities of other people that you're following, is the minute that you have failed yourself, that you have looked at it as, and I know we all talk about failures, we all have to fail forward, but the thing that you never want to do is fail yourself. You are your biggest asset. You are the most important thing, and that's what I did. I totally failed myself in the idea of that I had to be someone else to be successful and to be happy. And it wasn't until I realized that, one, none of that was true, and two, that I didn't have to go it alone, and that there was people out there that would like me for me, and that would walk that path with me, and that would be able to get me out of my own tailspin. And so what I would tell, the point I want to get across to everybody on this, I know that I feel like I probably went into a roller coaster. When I start talking about myself personally, since I don't do that a lot, I kind of go off in a tailspin, which is why I try not to do that so much. But what I want you to focus on is really looking deep and really asking yourself, are you being 100% authentic to yourself? Are you being real? Are you being true? Are you putting yourself out there as a watered down, scared version because you're afraid of what somebody's going to think? You're afraid of who's following you. You're afraid of what family member is going to say, oh my God, she's starting a business. That's never going to work. It's never going to happen. Are you afraid of all those things because of what somebody else is saying? And so you are limiting yourself. You are putting yourself into a box that you don't belong in. So what I would tell you is that's the first step. You know, we talk about like, what was the one thing, if I could give you one thing, that if someone would have told me years ago when I started my business not to focus on, I could tell you all the list of things not to focus on, but the one thing that I should have focused on, the one thing that it would have changed everything, is the foundation. It's the foundation of yourself, of your self-worth, of your belief, of your power, of your confidence, of who you are and your clarity and what you bring to this world, and knowing that it doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. It only matters what you're doing. So that is what I wanted to bring to you today, because it changes everything. It changes your business. It changes your life. The minute I did, and I remember the first live I did that I completely opened up, it's when Uncensored was created. The minute I did that Uncensored, I felt like the weight was lifted off my shoulders, because that was the moment that I was being my truest self, and I have not looked back. So that's what I would tell you to focus on today. And I hope that this was helpful. And I thank everybody who hopped on live. When I go on a rant, I try not to say hello to everybody, but Lizzie, Stephanie, Jillian, Anna, Brandy, Jenna, Michelle, Allison, Karen, Leslie, Lindsay, all of you, I appreciate all of you hopping on. And if this is a message that you feel like somebody should hear that would resonate with someone, please feel free to share it. And I thank you guys for watching tonight. Tomorrow's Uncensored is going to be later. I am going to bring it on a little bit later in the evening, and maybe we'll go a little longer then. So I appreciate all you all hopping on, and I will catch you tomorrow.